Mexia Sports Network would like to send a big thank you to our sponsors. Some may know and some may not know this business is funded by the owner and co-owner. However, we do offer sponsorships during sports seasons. When you sponsor a spot on the Mexia Sports Network, you get advertisement during live games. Also, your sponsorship assists in obtaining shirts for our announcers and equipment that is used to bring you better services. Thank you all to past and present for your support.
Welcome everybody back to Sports Mexia Sports Network here at Joe Fridays with Greer Time Media. Tonight we kind of got a little special edition. We got almost all the coaches here tonight with us, coming in celebrating that district win against the Bullard Panthers Friday night. Coaches, I want to say congratulations to y'all. Thank you. Just touching a little bit on the Bullard game tonight, but before we do that, we're going to start with Coach AP because I know that we've interviewed just about all the coaches, but Black Cat Nation needs to know who their coaches are and what their responsibilities are for the team. So, Coach AP, if we'll start with you, and we'll just make our way across.
I'm Coach Pullen, I coach offensive line. I'm Evan Simpson, I help receivers. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Coach Dorsey, outside linebackers.
I'm Coach Spradlin. I coach inside linebackers.
Aaron Now, head ball coach.
Coach Molina with the secondary. Coach Harrison, offensive line.
Coach Guerrero, junior high coordinator. Coach Hobbs, offensive coordinator.
All right, and that's most of your coaches. I know we're missing Coach Davis. Anybody else with us? Coach Sadler tonight. Coach Harris. So this ain't all of them. This is just about all that we could put Vaseline on and squeeze in into. Yeah, Coach Massington. But coaches, again, I'd like to say congratulations on that district win Friday night. Anytime you go into anybody's home, it can be anybody's game. Although Bullard's record didn't show the kind of football team that they really are, that was a tough win against not so bad Panther team Friday night. So we're sitting there. We're going to talk about the first half just a little bit. We're sitting there, and we can see the Black Cats trying to break out to do something. But all of a sudden, for halftime, the Panthers went up on a little bit of 21-point lead, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Coach. At halftime, give us a little rundown of what y'all see needed to be corrected after that first half Friday night.
Well, when the first half was over, and we kind of let the kids go in and start getting on their feet and hydrating, and we meet and talk, and they scored touchdowns on 3 trick plays that were just really designed out of their base offense, and so it was kind of tip of your hat there to those guys. It was a lack of discipline on our part that they hit. They were well designed plays. We go back and look at us offensively. First play of the game should have been a touchdown. Second series, we had a play in there. We executed right as a touchdown. And so they're looking at it, it's 31-13 at half, and I'm like, man, everything that's going on is us. And I didn't talk to the kids a whole lot at halftime. We met as a staff for a few minutes, went in, told everybody, hey, go coach your kids. And we go coach them up, and really, I didn't say another thing to them until we're about to come out. And say, you got 24 minutes to go earn yourself a playoff spot. Let's go. And I mean, that was literally the halftime speech was these guys going in there and coaching their butts off like they've done all year. And, we kick off and give the ball to them because, coming back 31-13 is not quite as cool as coming back from 38-13. So we wanted it to be a little bit bigger lead before we decided to, get it rolling because that's fun. And and then here we go.
And as the coach was saying, Bullard took the ball that first possession and scored a touchdown. But like I've been talking about each week, you can see the heart of these football players and this coaching staff on this field every Friday night. You can see the desire to win. And like you said, that second half, I guarantee you, Bullard didn't expect the team that they played in the first half to come out in that second half and play the Black Cat team that they played. Mexia, they just executed on special teams, executed on offense. And one thing that I gave big props to Friday night was that offensive line. The offensive line gave the running backs holes, plenty of time for the quarterback to make smart decisions, and the penalties against the offense that night, Friday night was just low, probably a season low so far. And I think that's probably the best that I've seen that offensive line play, and I feel that's what got the Black Cats rolling. Not besides the defensive stands that the Black Cats had back to back to get those consecutive drives to start catching up with the Panthers. But that final drive, whenever y'all started down on y'all's 1 yard line, I mean, them kids could have folded, but no, they continued the heart of the Black Cats on that football field and drove 99 yards down the field to go up with about a minute left in the football game. And I mean, you couldn't have asked for more as a Black Cat fan. So give us a little bit of a rundown about that second half if I haven't touched on just about everything.
Like, for me, it started in pregame. Like, when we went out for warm-ups, like, you can't describe it. You just know it when you see it. And there was a buzz with our kids in pregame. And when we got done with pregame and got ready to go in, Bullard had senior night for everything but football. And so I knew we were going in a little bit early. I knew we were going to be in the locker room a little bit longer than normal. And so I told our kids, hey, you're going to be in there for a while. I said, I really love your energy in pregame. When we come out, we got to have the same energy. And I thought, honestly, we came out in the first half with that energy. We just didn't execute it. And then we come out in the second half, and really, to me, the difference in the game was the block punt. Anytime you block a kick, is big, but a block punt is the most devastating play in football. There's no doubt about it. And we had just scored. We blocked the punt. We get a short field, score again, and I know we traded scores there in the fourth, but they never had the same. They weren't the same team after we blocked the punt. We really weren't. We got out the field in the first half defensively. We had 2 picks. Both of our safeties had picks early in the game. We count the fourth down stop and the block punt. We forced 6 turnovers, and that's tough that's tough for anybody to overcome. As far as the penalty situation, we'll just leave it at that. I don't want to get fined, so we'll just leave it there. But the offensive line, they were spectacular. I mean, we rushed the ball for 377 yards. We had some plays there that were anytime we wanted yards, we had it. And it was kudos to those guys, because going in, I thought the strength of that Bullard defense was their D-line. And so anytime you go in and you put up that kind of rushing yards against, what you feel is the strength of their defense, it was just a great job by the offensive staff of playing at our tempo and playing at our speed, and it keeps guys from being able to sub, and you're not conditioned to play like that. And when we talk about playing at Black Cat speed, that's what it is right there.
Yes, and that's what you saw Friday night. You just saw Black Cat speed, Black Cat heart, Black Cat fight. Just a tremendous win. So I want to congratulate the whole coaching staff on a tremendous job Friday night. Now going into next week, Canton, they come here to Black Cat Field. Colder weather, football gets harder, but the football does get harder, but the football game stays the same. I know y'all have seen film on Canton defense. They have a pretty stout defense. They can put points up on the board when they need to. What have you seen on film that's going to be y'all's biggest test Friday night to try to contain?
I think it really, looking at how they, they're coming off a heartbreaking loss to Van, and that game was back and forth, close all night long, and then a young man slips on the field goal to win it, and it's still doinks off the upright. I mean, if they're 2 yards up the field, even though he slips, they make it and pull off the W. So I really think it goes back to, hey, how are they going to respond to that? How are our kids going to respond to the success we had Friday night? And then, it's playoffs don't start for another week, but this game is for seeding. So, essentially it's going to be a playoff type atmosphere out there. Not only is it a district game, but it's also for third place. So, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Now, starting with Coach AP here, practice this week, and I want to hear the thoughts of every one of the coaches tonight, starting with Coach AP going down. Practice this week, how do y'all feel that confidence from Friday night's win is carrying over to this week's practice so far?
God knows a big turnover from the beginning of the season to now. Coming off their big win last week, all 5 offensive linemen came ready to play, energized. We had a few hiccups here and there, but it was very correctable, and we did. So I'm feeling really good about this.
Coach?
Basically just the energy of practice, and then just how the guys are practicing now. It's just a lot better. The atmosphere is better. The attitude's better.
As we're going along, we're finding more kids step up in certain positions. And I feel like more kids are starting to step up in positions that we need them. And I feel like they'll keep doing that throughout the playoffs. So it looks good.
Inside back linebackers last Friday played a lot better in the second half. And they haven't gone back to the way they played the first half yet. So they came into this practice keeping the adjustments they made in the second half. So they're going to play a lot better this week.
Yeah, I think anytime you come off a big win like that, brings a little bit of a jolt, a little bit of a spark to your program. Not just varsity, but our JV kids also, acclimating to that energy our varsity programs brought this week. And so it's been good. The message stays the same: win the turnover battle and play some clean football.
The biggest concern coming this year was how young we are, and I think, we're seeing now, like, those younger guys know how to prepare. They know how to, get their minds ready for a Friday night game. I think we just saw it get better this week, get ready for playoffs.
Hopefully, I saw the guys, especially some of the junior high kids, 8th graders who have older brothers on the varsity team. They saw some of the guys that sparked or ignited a fire into them, and hopefully that fire just keeps burning for us for this week and playoffs.
They said all the good stuff.
I ain't going last on this kind of question.
Good stuff. All I can say is, like, from an offensive standpoint, the message stays the same. Got to impose the tempo. Got to go fast. Got to line up. And those 5 guys up front do their job. Gonna be in for another good game. And chasing that high, keep winning, and just get better and better each week. And so we pull another one off. Hopefully those kids will stay in that same mind frame.
One thing we talked to the kids about after the game is, so many times I've said, and I've really said it after every game, hey, this game only affects you if you let it. It only affects the next game if you let it. And usually I tell them, hey, flush it pretty quick. I said, hey, this one was special. This wasn't your ordinary Friday night football game. So enjoy it a little bit. You can hang on until you wake up Saturday morning, and then Saturday morning we got to flush it and be ready to go. And I think our kids did a good job of handling that early part of this week.
And I like how you said that because usually you hear a lot of head coaches say, or players in the NFL say, it's the game we got to put behind us. Now it's time to look for next week. But whenever you look at this Black Cat team, y'all truly do that. Y'all truly put whatever game y'all just played behind y'all and prepare for that next week. And you can see that when those kids step out on the football field, win or lose, you can see the determination in those kids, knowing that this Friday night is a new night and it's a new football game. And you can see that. And I think that comes from the mentality of the leadership of the crew sitting around this table tonight. So I want to commend y'all for being that positive role models for those kids each Friday night every day through practice. One question I got to ask Coach Spradlin. So what's up with the question of how long did it take for you to come down from the press box?
Yeah, I want the answer on this.
Okay,
one.
so
Yeah, go ahead.
things were obviously turning around for us there in the second half, and we're in that press box, and every time something good happens, we got pretty excited. You know, I think at one point I jumped up so fast I almost hit my head on the ceiling of that press box.
Must have been a low ceiling.
And it was pretty low. It was pretty low. I don't have much of a vertical. And so right about that last, I think that last touchdown we scored, you kind of started, some heads were kind of starting to turn. And you're like, oh, I don't think they like that we're that excited. So
those are those guys.
So as soon as we recovered that kick, we were pretty much like, okay, we're gonna kneel it out. I think it's time to get out of here before everyone else decides they're gonna try and get out of here as well.
And talking about that kick, me and Walsh were talking as y'all was preparing for the kickoff for y'all's last kickoff Friday night. And the question was asked, I asked Wallace, do they kick it deep or do they squib kick it again? And I honestly think that y'all caught them off guard with that deep kick. And I spoke to you after the game a little bit about that. And you said you told your kicker, just kick it as deep as you can. And he did. And I think that really caught them off guard. I think it caught us off guard too, because I was feeling it should go deep, but I'm not a coach. I can always say what I believe. But that's what happened, and I think Boulder was caught off guard, and your recovery team, got down there quick. They got down there pretty dang fast. So, I mean, that's just a great way to end an awesome night for the Black Cats on Friday night.
I mean, he placed that ball like right where we practiced that particular kick. He put it right, like we just put a little dot out there, and he put it right there. No, I'm kidding. Like I just told him, hey, dude, go kick the crap out of it and let's go. And to get the short hop we got, I mean, that's just,
the look of the turf.
Yeah, it just blind dumb luck right there, and huge job for Isai stepping up and kicking for us. Kind of in a situation that I promise you, when he woke up Friday morning, he knew he's going to be kicking off Friday night. Neither did I. But such is life in Texas high school football. And so, hey, get him on the bus and let's go.
Now, last Friday night was a little bit of a cool night. This Friday night is supposed to be a little bit cooler. And besides calling this fat man weather, because I don't sweat when it's cold, I consider this football weather as well. Do y'all like playing football on Friday nights when it's hot and dreary or cold and dreary? Which we know Friday nights it's going to be cold, it's going to be probably wet, so that football is going to slip either which way. So as a coaching core, do y'all like it when the weather starts cooling down and you feel you can get more out of the kids when it's cold, or when it's hot down there on that turf?
You like playing deep in the playoffs, you like playing when it's cold.
Right. If you don't like playing when it's cold, it's because you haven't been hanging around when it's cold. Like, I remember there was a year one time it was so cold that the practice restriction for temperature, we couldn't go practice. But by God, they were going to let us go play on Saturday. And we literally had to beg our training staff to let us go get a 30-minute practice in. And we tried to go get, we're practicing in the gym, and if you've ever practiced football in the gym, you know that's not real. And so we got to go outside for 30 minutes, and it was like just a Chinese fire drill trying to pack in so much stuff. And so what do we need to get done? What can we get done? And what's realistic? And but to me, like the only thing that Mother Nature does that affects us is lightning, because that takes us off the field. But hot, cold, wet, dry, wind, man, I don't care. Anyone, anytime, anywhere. You pick the weather.
Yes, sir. And so I want to thank every one of y'all that came up tonight. I know we had a couple of coaches that couldn't make it tonight. I want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart from continuing from the first of the season to today to continue to be that positive role model for these kids. You can see it in the hearts of these young men when they go out and play on Friday nights. So as a Black Cat fan, I want to thank y'all very much, and congratulations on y'all's win Friday night. But this Friday night, Canton's coming into the Mexia Black Cat territory. We're looking to bring home that second district win. It's the final game of the season. I know it's going to be a little chilly. We're going to have plenty of hot chocolate. Y'all come out, support your kids, support your community. Let these kids know you do care about them. Friday night, Canton's coming down to Black Cat Field. Let's make sure that we show up and support them. If you can't make it to the game, go to Mexia Sports Network on YouTube channel. You can be able to find the game. If you can't find it on YouTube, go to Greer Time Media and search up Mexia Sports Network on Greer Time Media. You'll be able to watch the game. But I encourage everyone in this community to come out and support your Black Cats for their final district game, as it's kind of a warm-up game for that playoff tournament that starts the week after. We're not looking for that. We're not looking towards that right now. We're looking for this Friday night to bring home that second district win. So once again, I'm James Dykler with your Mexia Black Cat Coaching Corps tonight here at Joe Fridays. Friday night, 7:30 kickoff time. Mexia Black Cats.
Blackout Friday night. Wear
Black Cat Friday night. Wear black. Blackout. Be there Friday night, 7:30. As we like to say before we end the segment, go Black Cats.
Go Black Cats.
Black Cats.
Ray Rhodes will be inducted into the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame. Ray Rhodes played at Tulsa and TCU, having a successful playing and coaching career in the NFL. Rhodes was the head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles and Green Bay Packers. Born October 20th, 1950, Ray Earl Rhodes is a former American football player and coach who played wide receiver and cornerback for the New York Giants. Rhodes also served as the assistant defensive back coach for the Houston Texans, earning 5 Super Bowl rings with the San Francisco 49ers, and was named Coach of the Year by the Associated Press in 1995, his first season as Eagles head coach. He last served as the senior defensive assistant for the Cleveland Browns. This has been Rewinding the Clock on Ray Rhodes by the Mexia Sports Network. and moments that become memories to last a lifetime. Brandy Garza at Photo Trappings downtown Mexia is here to capture all of your milestones and moments, offering newborn, children, seniors, family, and special occasion photography. Visit Photo Trappings on Facebook for all the latest specials and mini sessions. Photo Trappings, 115 East Commerce, downtown Mexia. Call or text 254-562-PICS.
Heritage Real Estate LLC, voted by readers of the Mexia News as the best real estate company and best realtor for 2020, is proud to support the Mexia Black Cats. Broker and owner Mitzi Eves, as well as Heritage Realtors Pat Adams and Kelly Lauderdale, are all graduates of Mexia High School. Together, Heritage Real Estate LLC Realtors have over 30 years of real estate experience, are very involved in the community, and are dedicated to their clients. Heritage Real Estate LLC works with sellers, buyers, and investors.
You're listening to Black Cat Football and Greer Time Media. Let's take it to the booth with your host, Freddie Greer Sr.
Here with our prediction show for this week. As we just wrapped up our coaches portion of the show with James and my head coaching staff. As we had several coaches here this week. We don't have any players, so we're going to hop straight into our predictions, and we'll start off in the high school ranks as the Frost Polar Bears are taking on the Hubbard Jaggers.
I'm going to take Hubbard.
Oh, okay. I'm going to take Frost. I thought we was going that way.
I'm going with Hubbard as well.
And I'm taking Hubbard in this one also. Vance trying to get an upset on us.
He got problems.
That might be a smarter or a better risk pick than James is.
I give him the best shot. The best shot don't work out all the time, man.
You wasn't here with us last week.
No.
James said he was trying to pick up a surprise upset last week
of the century
and chose Franklin to lose.
That didn't work out too good.
Hey, Franklin almost scored 100.
Next up, we'll see if James picks an upset in this one. Is the Mart Panthers are taking on the Wortham Bulldogs. Vance?
I'm gonna take Mart.
I'm taking Mart.
I'm not that stupid. Mart.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you get too many people to pick against the Panthers. I'm going Mart in this one as well. Next up, the Bremont Tigers are taking on the Chilton Pirates.
I'm going to take Chilton.
I'm taking Chilton.
You know, I'm going with Chilton as well.
And I'm going to make it a clean sweep, and I went with the Pirates also. Moving a little bit closer to us, the Tig Lions take on Eustis.
I'm going to take Tig.
I'm taking Tig.
I'm pretty sure it might be a clean sweep of Tig.
Yeah, I'm taking Tig in this one also. I thought I was going to get an upset last week, and I went with Eustis over Fairfield. But Fairfield got some of those players that had been hurt back last weekend. They hurt my picks. So I'm going with the Lions in this one. Next up, Kemp takes on Grosbeck.
I'm going to take Grosbeck.
I got Grosbeck. Look at him.
While we're waiting on him, I did pick Grosbeck as well.
Well, before I say mine, Freddie, what you got?
Well, Wallace, after that powerhouse football game we did last Friday against Tig, I'm going to go Grosbeck 60, Kemp
That must
7.
have been a small house.
60 to 7?
60 to 7.
Oh, so Kemp's going to score?
Yeah, we're going to give him one.
And an extra point.
Yeah, we're going to give him one.
Well, I am going Grosbeck in this one. I'm not going to say a score like Freddie, but I do think Grosbeck will come up victorious. We've gotten a chance to watch them play, and they have a very good team over there, and they're playing some good football. So as much as the black cat in me hates to say it, I'm actually pulling for the Goats. So
boys over there.
Yeah, our partners down south, they're got a good season going, and we hope they continue it. Staying pretty close, Fairfield takes on Malakoff.
I'm gonna take Malakoff.
I got Malakoff.
Malakoff here.
No upsets.
Just a wild guess here.
Not yet.
No upsets.
Not yet.
Yeah, none here either. we also got to see Malakoff, and I think Malakoff will
Malakoff.
come out on top in this one. So moving over to our 1A/6-man matchups for the week, we'll have Penelope taking on Abbott.
I'm going to take Abbott.
I'm taking Abbott.
Abbott here.
Abbott on my sheet as well. The Coolidge Yellow Jackets are taking on Aquila.
I'm going to take Aquila.
I got Aquila.
You know what? I ain't circled this one yet.
I didn't either.
But I'm going to go with Aquila.
Yeah, I'm going with Aquila in this one also.
I was hoping to pick that for my upset, but
I want to say Aquila's got one of the top 6-man teams this year.
Yeah.
Well, Abbott's right on up there. Like,
and
Franklin made me look bad last week.
Abbott's really
so.
high.
Picking against Abbott's
probably
like being against Martin.
Yeah. Probably the only 6-man teams you go in over Abbott is Calvert and Richland Springs.
Yeah. And Abbott played Richland Springs this year, didn't
I think so.
First year.
Next up, we'll go over to Spring Hill and North Lamar. Dang, I didn't circle that.
I'm going to take Spring Hill.
I'm taking Spring Hill.
Yeah, Spring Hill as well.
And I'm taking Spring Hill in this one also. Liberty Ilu versus Pittsburgh.
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh.
I got Pittsburgh.
×3.
And I got Pittsburgh circled on my page as well. Next up, the Gilmer Buckeyes versus Pleasant Grove.
I'm going to take Gilmer.
I got Gilmer.
I almost went with Pleasant Grove on this one, but Gilmer, there's one reason why they're pretty good this year. Because they're pretty good.
That's why they rank number 2. They got to have a reason, don't they?
Got to be a reason.
Yeah, no surprise. I went with Gilmer also in this one. So as we move into our district, only 2 games, in our district this week. As Bullard, their season came to an end last week. But we have the Brownsboro Bears versus the Van Vandals.
I'm going to take Van.
I got Van.
I think it'll be a close game in the first half. But Van's going to pull it out in the end. I think they're kind of,
Van's undefeated too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a close one.
Yeah. Canton gave them a scare.
Gave them all they wanted.
Yeah, I'm going with Van in this one also. Shoots Canton, if that kicker keeps his foot and he maybe drills that one and but unfortunately he slid through the kick and it bounced off of the crossbar and bounced the wrong way. Next up we have Canton versus Mexia.
I'm going to take Mexia.
I got Mexia.
Mexia Black Cats.
And I'm going with the Black Cats also, coming off a big win last week in Bullard. We'll see if they can continue the momentum and playing in through this game as it leads them up to the playoffs. We'll keep rolling on through as we move over to our college portion. And we'll start with our top 10 this week. All right? And we'll move our way from bottom to top. Okay. So we'll have number 10, Wake Forest versus North Carolina.
I'm going to take North Carolina.
Hey, good choice. Good choice. I got North Carolina, too.
Hey, look who's the head coach down there, man. Texas,
well,
right?
I'm hoping we'll also take North Carolina because I'm going Wake Forest, and I'm hoping for a little game.
Well, I thought about this one for a little bit because I really do think North Carolina is going to upset them. But I've circled Wake Forest on my page. So I'm going to go with the Demon Deacons.
When is the last time you've seen Wake Forest
in the top 10? Yeah.
Unless they're playing basketball.
Right, yeah, it's been a long time. Number 9, Michigan's taking on Indiana.
Take Michigan.
I got Michigan.
Michigan going to come in kind of ticked off.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to kind of put a whooping on.
And I have the Wolverines as well. Number 8, Notre Dame versus Navy.
I'm going to go with Notre Dame.
I'm going Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
And I have the Irish in this one also. Number 7, Oregon's taking on Washington.
I'm going to go with Oregon.
I'm going Oregon.
Oregon.
I circled Oregon as well. Number 6, Ohio State versus Nebraska.
Ohio State.
I got them Buckeyes.
I got the O.
Yeah, and no surprises here. I'm going with Ohio State as well. Number 5, Michigan State takes on Purdue.
I'm going to take Michigan State.
I also got Michigan State.
I think if this is going to be a game where Michigan State gets upset, this is going to be it. but I'm still going with Michigan State.
I was about to say, yeah. I think Michigan State's really.
I think they proved themselves Saturday
in that top 4 conversation. So I'm going with Michigan State in this one. Number 4, Oklahoma has an open week this week, so they won't be playing. So that moves us up to number 3, Alabama versus LSU.
Alabama.
I got Alabama.
I got the Tide.
And I'm going with Alabama as well. I do kind of see this as a possible trap game. For them. You know, it's always a tough matchup between them and LSU, and but I think Alabama got their wake up call earlier in the season, and they're going to be rolling.
And don't LSU have a new coach.
Number 2, Cincinnati versus Tulsa.
I'm going to take Cincinnati.
I got Cincinnati.
I'm going with the Bearcats.
I'm going with the Bearcats as well. I was a little disappointed because I know our rankings when we did them went off of the AP poll, then the playoff committee came out with their rankings, and Cincinnati's on down the list. I believe around like number 6 or number 8. I can't remember exactly where they were, but they weren't as high as what I thought they should have been.
You talking about since the committees come out?
Yes, with the committee's rankings. Next up, we have number 1 Georgia versus Missouri.
I'm gonna go with Georgia.
I'm going with Georgia.
Bulldogs here.
Yeah, I'm not picking an upset in that one. I'm going with Georgia as well. So moving over into our Big 12 picks. Kansas State is taking on Kansas.
We'll go with Kansas State.
I'm going Kansas State.
I'm going K-State as well.
I'm going with the Wildcats also. The Oklahoma State Cowboys versus West Virginia Mountaineers.
Oklahoma State.
Want the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cowboys as well in this one. Moving over to some more of our Texas colleges, SMU takes on Memphis.
I'm going to go with SMU.
I got SMU with the bounce back win.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going with Memphis this game. I think SMU's going to go up and not play well.
Memphis has good teams.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think they have a good team as well, but I think SMU's going to be real ticked off behind giving up that last-second kickoff return to lose the game last week, and they'll bounce back and get the win in this one. The Houston Cougars are taking on South Florida.
Going with Houston.
Going with Houston.
I'm going South Florida.
Oh.
I'm catching up on y'all. I'm telling you, this is going to be my week.
Upset picks.
Yes.
Well, I seen them in person. I can
Houston probably got the upper hand.
I seen them play SMU in person. I'm going to tell you now.
Yeah, I'm going with Houston also.
Well, see, I gave South Florida a call after you came back and said that they didn't give a good showing when you was down there. Kind of upset these Texas boys. So
now we have Texas A&M taking on Auburn, which I think will be a good matchup.
I know.
I'm going to go A&M.
I'm going A&M.
I hadn't circled this game yet because I wanted to see where y'all was going. I think I'm going to get 3 up on y'all. I'm going Auburn this one.
Oh. I can see this one going in either way,
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
but I gave the nod to the local team, the Texas team, the Aggies, in this one. They come out and play the way they've been kind of playing and maintaining, especially on defense. They have that defense that they've played this year has been one of the best in the country. So moving up, we'll have the Texas Longhorns versus the Iowa State Cyclones.
I'm going to go with Texas and hope they do something this time. I hope they're at the end of the ball game they have more points than the other team does.
Well, I like Texas, but I'm going to have to go Iowa State on this one.
Especially playing Iowa State.
Yeah.
Well, I circled Iowa State here, but I wouldn't be surprised if Texas went up there and pulled out a win somehow.
They got to get one.
But I did go with Iowa State.
I believe they're in Ames this week.
Yep.
Yeah, and Ames is just a tough place to play.
That sure is.
Texas, they just
so much time.
I picked them pretty much all year except for last week against my Bears. You know, I wasn't gonna pick them last week. But
Texas has already lost more games this year than they lost last year, right?
Yeah. They just haven't been able to finish the game so far.
Yep.
But I'm gonna take Iowa State in this one. And speaking of my Bears, Baylor versus TCU.
I'm going to take Baylor.
I'm taking Baylor.
Baylor looked good Saturday.
Oh,
They
everybody
really
jumping
did.
on my Bears train now.
They really did.
Yeah.
I think they were a much better team than what the score showed. So I'm going with the Bears Saturday. Are they playing Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, I'm going with Baylor in this one. We're going to take a quick pause for the calls and bring you a word from our sponsor, and then we will be back with our NFL portion of our prediction show here from Joe Friday's Diner.
To Mexia Sports Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by Greer Time Media, Posey Napa Auto Park, Greer and Greer Mobile Detail, Mookie's Mesquite Patch Barbecue, Woodman Life Insurance, and Joe Fridays. Mexia Sports Network would like to send a big thank you to our sponsors. Some may know and some may not know this business is funded by the owner and co-owner. However, we do offer sponsorships during sports seasons. When you sponsor a spot on the Mexia Sports Network, you get advertisement during live games. Also, your sponsorship assists in obtaining shirts for our announcers and equipment that is used to bring you better services. Thank you all to past and present for your support.
You're listening to Black Cat Football. And
all right, and we're back here with our NFL portion of our prediction show this week. Mexia Sports Network, of course, Wallace High, Denora Sandals, James Deichler, and Vance Rose here on the call. We'll hop right into our NFL picks, as our Thursday night game is the New York Jets versus Indianapolis Colts.
I'm going to take the Colts, Indianapolis.
I got the Colts.
I got to go with the Colts.
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts as well.
I don't know, but the Jets, that quarterback looked nice on the back of it on Sunday.
Yeah, they pulled one out Sunday. So next up, Cleveland takes on Cincinnati.
I'm going to take Cincinnati.
I'm taking Cincinnati.
Yeah, I want Cincinnati.
Yeah, and I'm going with Cincinnati in this one. I don't know why I didn't circle it. The Battle of Ohio. But the Bengals, there's just, I don't know, there's a little dysfunction going on in Cleveland right now. And
Baker Field's not in, right? He's hurt, isn't he?
Well, he played last week.
Did he?
But yeah, but he
makes good commercials.
Yeah. Next up, we have Houston Texans versus the Miami Dolphins.
I'm going to go with Houston.
I'm going with Houston.
I don't think it really matters.
Somebody's got to win.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily.
I went with the Dolphins also, James. Yeah. They're both 1-7. Somebody's going to get their second win.
No,
I'm not sure who's playing quarterback for Houston. So.
No, that's my question.
Yeah.
Not really. If they play, if
If
go
they
to
tie,
that
that sounds like something that would happen between these two teams this year. We have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New Orleans Saints.
I'm going New Orleans.
I'm going New Orleans.
So one reason why I'm going New Orleans for 1.5. Because that quarterback that came in for New Orleans didn't win the game. And two, Atlanta's always kicked me off when I picked them.
They don't help you out anyhow.
I went New Orleans also. I mean, they've been taking a bunch of big hits here lately. Losing Winston last weekend. I was watching that game live, and I saw it, and it made me cringe in live action, and then they kept showing the replay, and I was like, yeah, I know that one was bad. That was a knee injury.
See, I turned it like right before that happened. And I turned it back, I'm like, whoa. So I had to go to YouTube and see what happened.
And I don't know if Simeon will be starting this week for him, or if Taysom Hill will be back off of concussion protocol. I'm not sure. So I don't know who's going to start for him this week. And then I heard earlier that Michael Thomas was supposed to be activated this week, and now he's going to be out the rest of the season because of his he had a setback in his rehab from his surgery. So, man, the Saints, they've still been winning games, you know, throughout all of the injuries and stuff that they've been plagued with. So yep. Next up, the Las Vegas Raiders are taking on the New York Giants.
I'm gonna take Las Vegas.
I'm taking New York.
I almost took New York because I think this
Where
is
they
a scary
play?
game for Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I think Las Vegas.
They got too much stuff going on right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go with the Raiders in this one. Man, they lost a big part of their offense with the Henry Ruggs ordeal. But the Giants, man, I picked them a couple times this season, and they lost whenever I picked them. Yeah, so
you're albatross. Huh?
So I'm just trying to. I hope that they win because that makes the NFC East stronger. But as long as they ain't playing the Cowboys, I really don't. So I went with the Raiders. Next up, we have the New England Patriots versus the Carolina Panthers.
I'm gonna go with New England.
I'm going with Carolina.
Ooh, Belichick. I think Belichick's going to pull it out.
I'm going New England in this one as well. Only reason I don't know if who's going to be the quarterback because is it Matt Barkley? Who is their quarterback? Not Matt Barkley. What's the Carolina quarterback's name? I know he's in concussion protocol.
I have no idea who the quarterback is.
He was with the Jets. I can't remember. My mind went blank on the name.
Well, Carolina started out 4-0, didn't they?
Yeah, they started out hot, and then they've dropped. They started out 4-0, and now they've lost 4 in a row. And then the quarterback went down with a concussion, so I guess we'll see. Dino might get a game up on all of us. The Buffalo Bills versus Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm going Buffalo.
I'm going Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, unless the Jaguars come out and just play the best game they played all season and Buffalo makes a bunch of mistakes, I don't see them losing to Jacksonville. The Minnesota Vikings versus Baltimore Ravens.
I'm going to go Baltimore.
I'm going Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore.
I'm going Baltimore as well. The LA Chargers versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I'm going with the Chargers.
I was going to go with the Chargers, but I think this is the game the Eagles can win. I don't want them to win. But I think the Chargers is going to pull this one.
I think it'll be a good game, probably a little bit closer than what a lot of people think, but I'm going with the Chargers in it. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles came out on top in this game. Next up, we have Green Bay Packers versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Green Bay.
Kansas City.
Green Bay. I'm going Aaron Rodgers.
Well, Aaron Rodgers isn't playing this week.
Oh, that's right.
Because
that's
he's on COVID protocol.
That's right.
So
Who's their backup?
The Love kid, the youngster that they recruited. Love.
Field, the one from
his
UCLA. He came from UCLA. Is it Fields?
No, Love.
Love. Love.
Yeah, last name Love.
Yeah.
He's been the backup there. What I think this is his second year.
Third year.
Yeah, but he's not Aaron Rodgers.
No.
And you're gonna have to match up and face Pat Mahomes on the other side. And with as much issues that they've been having this year,
Defense though.
they can still light you up if you're not able to stop them, man. And they found a way to win last week, so I'm going with the Chiefs in this one.
Yeah, I remember reading about Rodgers.
Arizona Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers.
Arizona.
No, they got their first loss last week.
By Green Bay?
Green Bay.
You told me I was crazy for picking that. I said I think this is one game Arizona gonna lose, but they're not gonna lose this one.
Yeah, and hopefully they spent the week telling all their receivers when you run around a route, turn around and look for the ball. Because if the receiver had a turn, if AJ Green turns around, the ball would have stuck in his hands for the game-winning touchdown. But because Kyler Murray put the ball perfect on his back shoulder, and he was looking to block. I guess he thought he was gonna run out the pocket or something. But
So I did get one.
yeah, you did get one right. But I'm going with the Cardinals in this one. Next up, Tennessee Titans versus the Los Angeles Rams.
I tell you what, that's going to go either way, but I'm going to go with the Rams.
Ooh,
no, ain't gonna be no either way now.
Not with Von Miller sitting over
Yeah.
there.
That's right. Well, I said I'm going with the Rams. He went to the Rams.
Yeah,
The Rams with Donald.
There's a big pendulum swing in this one.
Well, yeah,
Von Miller got traded to the Rams, and then Derrick Henry's gonna be out.
Yeah, I gotta go with the
his
Rams.
foot operated over something. He's gone for the season, right?
Yeah, don't remind me.
Yeah, me either.
That's on y'all's fantasy?
He was my running back one in both my leagues.
I shed a little tear.
I sent a text out.
You hurt my heart. I was on playing baseball when you sent that text out. You know it.
Yeah, I'm going to Rams also. The Chicago Bears versus Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
I'm taking Pittsburgh.
I think Pittsburgh's defense is going to solve.
This is the Monday night matchup. I'm going with Pittsburgh in this one, but if Fields comes out and plays the way he played last week, and that defense is solid how they've been, the Bears can sneak them one in this one. I think I saw something that said it was funny that the coach wasn't able to be there because he was on protocol, and Fields had his best game of the season. So next we'll go to our weekly NFL big matchup. This week it's the Dallas Cowboys versus the Denver Broncos.
Well, I'm going to take Dallas.
I'm going to take Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay. I got two theories on that. One, this is a scary game for Dallas.
Mile High Stadium.
Mile High Stadium. But two, you remember 93-94 season when the starting quarterback, Troy Aikman, went out and there was a redhead who came in and carried that team until Aikman could come back. I think that redhead will pull it off again. I think Cooper Rush is going to go in there and not lose the game from the Cowboys. That defense looked good Sunday. It looked real good.
Yeah, well, I think
not healthy.
I think
And not healthy.
yeah, I think Dak may be back this week.
Yeah.
But just in case.
Just in
I think
case.
that redhead, he's not
Well,
And Denver just.
I was worried, but now that you traded away Von Miller, that's the only thing, having him rushing off the edge with our Tyron Smith out, or possibly maybe missing this game and having to play a backup tackle in there. I was a little worried about it, but it's a little less scary when Von Miller's not on that edge rushing off of it. So,
But
yeah.
it's a little bit scary too whenever Dak Prescott's not taking a snap.
Right. So I am going with the Cowboys in this one. That brings us to the end of our prediction show this week. This has been the Mexia Sports Network, I believe, week 11 coach, player. Well, we didn't have players today, but coach and prediction show here again from Wallace Hyde to Norris Sandals, James Deichler, Vance Rose, and Freddie Greer on production. We want to thank you all for tuning in and watching. Remember, share, like, let someone know that they can catch us here. We will be live at 7:30 on Friday night from Black Hat Field as the Mexia Black Hats take on the Canton Eagles. We'll be bringing you live stream video and audio of the game. If you're not able to make it, you can find the link for the game at on Facebook, or the Mexia Sports Network page, or Greer Time Media page, as well as you can go onto YouTube, type in Mexia Sports Network, and it should bring you up the link directly to the game, or you can go and look on SHN Sports and then search for Mexia Sports Network. Again, we want to thank you all for tuning in, and as always, go Black Hats.
Go Black Hats.